Hey everybody, Mandy Ray of Ecstatic Astrology here to talk about the lunar eclipse in Libra that happened overnight on March 25th, 2024. That's today when I'm recording this. But I was sleeping when it happened, as most people at least were trying to do. It took me a minute to get to sleep, I will say that. It was a penumbral eclipse, so it wasn't total, but it did dim the moon for a little while. And it was at 5 degrees of Libra. So if you have anything at 5 degrees of cardinal signs, which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, this is hitting your chart pretty hard. And if you have anything at 5 degrees of air, it's also going to be trining, which is supportive of all of your placements, whatever that might be. That being said, I will go through the rising signs later to talk about exactly how it will affect you based on your rising sign, or has affected you rather, maybe will affect you. So Libra is the sign of relationships, the sign of compromise, coordination, especially when it comes to other people. That is what Libra is. It's our relationship with the other. A lot of times it is people. Sometimes it's things, relationships to things, relationships to habits. I mean, you can insert anything there. And with the South Node, which is separation, past the tail of the dragon, that means this full moon lunar eclipse in Libra is really about moving something out of our lives or reevaluating something in order to make room for something new. And that new thing that I'm talking about is probably going to be introduced by the solar eclipse April 8th in Aries. So those two signs are opposite one another, right? The sun is in Aries, and we just had the equinox, and the full moon was in Libra. Eclipsed. Libra, other people. South node, separation. We are making room. North node, that's what we're bringing in Aries, ourselves, our desires. So in order to make room for independence, for identity, for what we want, we might have to make some changes in our relationships. And maybe we also make some changes in the way we keep the peace, or maybe look to others to see what they think before we go do something. Now, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Pisces right now. Venus's exaltation is Pisces. That means it is really at home in Pisces. Pisces is the sign of mysticism and magic and intuition, subconscious, spiritual messages. It is spirituality. Sometimes it's escapism and confusion. But Venus really works well in Pisces. It's creative. It reaches up to the muses and takes an idea and runs with it. Or rather, maybe it runs with it after it gets out of Pisces. But it definitely imagines and dreams and has that magical quality. So how do you reconcile the fact that we're letting go of something, but also have this support from Venus and Pisces being the ruler? And I think that is allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to pay attention to your intuition. Pisces also being the ether, being mist, makes it a lot easier to release things because you could just let it float away, kind of disappear. So there may be that quality of whatever is changing in our lives is almost disappearing in a way we might not even notice until later. That being said, I'm going to preview something when we have April come around. April 1st, Mercury turns retrograde. So it's in its shadow right now. And that's something to note. It is already picking up, well, not picking up steam. It's already slowing down. That was the wrong terminology because it is slowing down, not actually in space, but to our point of view from Earth, it looks like it's going slower and it's going to turn around and go backwards. So it's already at some degrees that it's going to retrace. And the reason I wanted to preview that is because on I guess, what is it? The 27th, I'm recording an April video with my friend Krista from Practical Astros about April, and it's going to go up on my YouTube channel this time. Last month, the March forecast went up on her channel. So I'm not going to go too deep into April right now like I normally do. I'm just going to go ahead and focus on this lunar eclipse and say that the solar eclipse forecast is coming, and it's going to be a full-on April forecast with more than just my perspective. So I'm really excited about that. Now that I've talked about that, let me just go ahead and look at the next couple of days leading up to April 1st. I think once we get past tonight and the moon moves past the south node, we're going to start to feel a lot less effects of this Libra eclipse. However, we're going to be in between two eclipses, which is kind of a liminal magical time anyway. As we get into Thursday, the moon moves into Scorpio. Actually, it may be Wednesday morning that happens. Oh, it is. It's Wednesday morning. The moon moves into Scorpio. And that's really nice because the moon will be trining Mars and Pisces, by the way, Saturn, Venus, and Neptune. So Wednesday and Thursday should be pretty nice. There will be a moment where the moon on Thursday opposes Jupiter and Uranus. And that just exposes something that is coming in late April, the Jupiter Uranus conjunction, and the change that is happening in that area as well. And then we move into the 30th, which is the last day of the month, the 29th and 30th. The moon will be in Sagittarius. That's going to be significant because just before April begins, we have this moment where the moon squares Saturn on Saturday the 30th. And that can be a little bit of a, oh, I have work to do sort of situation. It may be a little bit of an obstacle. That's going to happen Central Time around dinner time, late afternoon to dinner time. So if things get a little wonky at that time, just know that's what's going on. But at the same time, the moon from Sagittarius will be trining Aries on Saturday the 30th. So there's some things that are supportive, some things that may briefly feel like an obstacle, briefly be a little stressful, because even before it squares Saturn, it squares Mars. And that's going to be, I want to say that's later at night. Yeah, thank goodness. That's kind of when we're sleeping. But, you know, Friday leading into Saturday may have some qualities of moon square Mars, which is can be stressful, can be high energy, testy. So Friday, Saturday is just kind of like a watch and see, make sure you're not too quick to anger, although sometimes it reflects the need to. So those are the last few days of the month that I wanted to go over, because as we move into April, the moon will be moving into Capricorn. And we'll start talking about that on the April forecast. So yeah, that's April 1st, moon in Capricorn. Mercury goes retrograde, April Fool's Day. Okay. I suppose I'm going to record rising sign videos now. So I'm going to go upload this and I will catch you guys April 1st whenever we have the full April forecast. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be fun. We have some big things coming in for the new solar eclipse, the new moon solar eclipse, April 8th. I'm excited to talk about it with Krista. Visit me at ecstaticastrology.com so that I can do a session with you. I'd love to meet you. All right. Catch you on the flip side. Go watch those rising sign videos.